All right, let's talk about something. That feeling when you're trying to plan a big night out in LA, you need a party bus, but figuring out the real cost, it's a total headache. Well, not anymore. Today, we're going to cut through all that confusion and give you the straight up answers. And I mean it. Because we have all been stuck in that loop, right? Clicking through website after website, and every single one says the same frustrating thing: call for a quote. Forget that. We're skipping all of that nonsense and getting right to what you actually need to know. So, what's the real number? What does a party bus in LA actually cost? It feels like they're hiding it, doesn't it? Well, by the time we're done here, you're going to know exactly what to expect. You'll understand the whole pricing game inside and out. All right. First up, let's pull back the curtain on why this is so confusing to begin with. You see that call for a quote everywhere for a reason. It's a sales tactic to get you on the phone. But here's the thing. The pricing itself, it's actually way simpler than you think once you crack the code. And here is the code. It's really just a simple formula. See, it's not just about that hourly rate they flash on the website. No. The real cost, the starting point, is all about the minimum number of hours you have to book. That's the key. Okay, so now that we have that basic formula, let's really get into the rules of the game. Once you get these, you'll be able to look at any quote from any company and know exactly what's going on. No more confusion. This right here, this is the most important part. So from now on, when you see a price like, say, $200 an hour, your brain needs to automatically translate that. It doesn't mean $200. It means, okay, for a Saturday night with a 6-hour minimum, that's a $1,200 commitment. That minimum booking time, that's your real starting price. And, what's pretty cool is that the way the industry is set up actually works in your favor. Almost every company charges a flat rate for the bus. Think about what that means. The more people you can get to join, the cheaper it gets for everybody. It's kind of brilliant, and it makes a really cool experience way more affordable than you'd think. So besides that hourly rate and the minimum booking, there are a few other things that will push the price up or down. The size of the bus is a big one, obviously, but also when you book is huge. A Saturday night during prom season, that's going to be peak pricing. Compare that to like a Tuesday in February, and you'll see a massive difference. And of course, a brand new, top-of-the-line bus is going to cost more than one that's been around the block a few times. All right, enough theory. Let's get down to brass tacks. You came here for the numbers, so let's look at the numbers. Here's a real-world breakdown of what you can actually expect to pay for different size buses right here in LA. Now, for most people, this is going to be your zone. We're talking birthdays, bachelorette parties, that kind of thing. Your total weekend cost is going to land somewhere in these ranges. And you see that 20-passenger bus? It's probably the most popular size for a reason. It just hits that perfect sweet spot between having enough space and being a great value. Okay, but what if you're going bigger, like a corporate thing, or moving wedding guests around, or just a massive party? Well, these are the numbers you need to be looking at. And here's a fun little bit of math for you. Sometimes the per-person cost actually goes down with the bigger buses. Seriously, try coordinating Ubers for 50 people. A party bus suddenly looks like a total bargain. Okay, so you've got your quote based on the hourly rate and the minimum. Awesome. But hold on, we're not quite done. We need to talk about the sneaky stuff, the extra fees that can pop up on your final bill if you're not paying attention. You absolutely have to ask about these things. The driver's tip, is that included, or are they going to add 20% at the end? What about fuel surcharges? Is that a thing? And maybe most importantly, what happens if you go over your time? You got to know their overtime policy before the party is still going and the clock is ticking. Trust me, getting this stuff sorted out up front will save you a world of pain later. So what's the best way to protect yourself from all this? Simple. Before you give them a single dollar, you need to ask for a written, all-in quote. One number. That's it. Any good, reputable company will be happy to do this. And if they hesitate or give you the runaround, that's a massive red flag. Just walk away. All right, this next part is maybe the most important bit of math you're going to do, because we need to shift how we're thinking about this. It shouldn't be about finding the absolute cheapest price. It's about finding the best value, the best experience. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Okay, let's play this out. Imagine you've got a group of 15 people. You find two options, a budget bus and a more premium one. And when you look at the total price, you see a $500 difference. Now, your first instinct might be to just go with the cheaper one. I mean, $500 is $500, right? Yep, a $500 difference for the entire group for the whole night. But that's not the number that really matters. The magic happens when we break that down. Because when you take that $500 and you divide it by your 15 friends, it's just $33 a person. Think about that, $33. That is the only thing standing between a meh night on a kind of old bus and an amazing night on a great one. Let's put that in perspective. $33 is, what, less than 2 drinks at a club in Hollywood? It's probably less than your Uber home at the end of the night. So for that tiny amount, you're upgrading the entire experience. A better sound system, cleaner interior, the whole shebang. All of a sudden, paying a little extra for quality seems like a no-brainer, doesn't it? So the question is, how do you make sure you're actually booking that great experience and not the dud? Well, let's wrap this all up with a simple checklist. Use this and you can vet any company out there and book with total confidence. It's just 5 easy steps. 1. Demand recent photos of the actual bus you'll be getting, not some generic stock photo. 2. Ask about the sound system. Seriously, that is the #1 vibe maker or vibe killer. 3. Get that all-in pricing in writing. 4. Ask what's included, ice, water, cups. And 5. When you read reviews, don't just look at the stars. Look for the ones with details, the ones that mention the driver by name, or talk about how clean the bus was. Those are the real ones. And to finish things off, here are a few final pro tips to get you the best possible price without sacrificing quality. If you can, book on a weekday. A Thursday can be way cheaper than a Saturday. Booking a month or 2 in advance always helps. Oh, and try to book directly with the company itself, not through some third-party broker site. You'll usually get a better price and way better service. So I'll just leave you with this one last question to think about, because really, it's what this all comes down to. You just have to decide, is the bus simply your transportation, or is it a part of the experience itself? If you just need a ride, hey, maybe the cheap bus is fine. But if the journey is part of the party, then investing just a little bit more in a great experience isn't just a good idea, it's everything.